Hi, I'm really hoping that you all are safe and doing well. So, this is not just a video but rather an announcement because most recently I have actually conducted a training, a workshop which was around the project management's one of the most esteemed certification known as Agile Certified Practitioner. So, Agile Certified Practitioner nowadays is one of the gold standard in Agile project management. So, in order to achieve this certification, there is a specific skill set needed that belongs to the Agile. And if you are interested in achieving this certification, I have actually created a separate video which is shown above in this video. So you can actually refer to that video because this video contains all the fundamental information that you actually need to appear in the Project Management Institute certification known as ACP, which is Agile Certified Practitioner. So getting back about the experience, the training I've given was the participants were belong to different walk of life with different preferences, with different learning curve, and most importantly all of them were having different capability. So it was a very learning full of training. So what I've done is that I actually made some highlights that will actually help you in understanding the basic concepts around the Agile Certified Practitioner. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, without any delay, let's just get started.
Recorded.
Okay, ji, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, after the completion of waterfall methodology of project management, today we are reached at a position that we are going to cover the overview of agile project management and hybrid project management. So, definitely in this week, you would cover all the overview, especially at this point of time where PMI has changed its pattern, moving from agile to a hybrid project management inclusion as well. So in this area now we have to cover both aspects of the project management in agile as well as waterfall. And now that process groups and all that things that have been changed from 5 process groups to three different domains of waterfall, agile, and hybrid methodology. So likewise, now we are focusing that our participants should also know about the agile area of work. So I requested especially Shehbaz, because he's agile specialist and certified agile certified practitioner, and has a long line of certification. Mashallah, at a very small age, he has done a lot of rather he has attained a lot of international certifications in various domains, and he is very capable person. So now I would request Shehbaz to please take the mic and start his presentation. So let me add one more thing to the remaining participants. We have in this session two more participants. One is Colonel Wasim. He has recently qualified his PMP certification. And one is Mr. Shadab. Mr. Shadab is from Nokia, and he's a project manager, and he's also our special guest for this session. So he would also join you for this week for 4 days from Monday to Thursday, and learn and discuss different agile methodology from his organization. Like agile is very much implemented in Nokia, so that's why I requested him to join us, share your knowledge about this, and so everyone should get benefit out of it. So thank you very much, Sir Shadab and Colonel Wasim, for joining us for this session. So I hope this session would be really beneficial and attractive, with both theoretical and the practical learning of this session. So now, Shabazz, please take your mic and continue your session, please.
So I'm Shehbaz Shiraz, and this is just a brief intro about myself. So I'm having 10 plus years of experience, diverse experience in the field of information technology, cloud solutions, data warehousing, and its various outputs. So I have served across different sectors in telecom, insurance, retail, automobiles, banking, and they all are based in different European countries. So most recently, I've served in Teradata for about 7 to 8 years, and then I have served in Zone. So most of my time spent in Teradata was as a database Hadoop administrator, which was a technical role, then senior Hadoop admin, and then later most of my time I've spent there as a project manager and then a capability development consultant, where my role was to actually share all my project management experience with my fellow associates so that they can ultimately perform at the best level of their job profile. So for the rest, left on the side, you'll see that there are a lot of projects and a lot of vendors I've worked with, like Vodafone, Gensidia, Bankia. I'm just skipping it because they all are different vendors. They are working in European region. So most of my time I spent there developing my core capabilities. So I have a distinction of Teradata for having across 23 very market competitive certifications. So out of them, the most prominent one are I'm PMP certified, I'm PMI Agile certified practitioner, I'm NLP certified, which is a neuro linguistic master practitioner. I'm Hortonworks certified, which is a big data certification. I'm Teradata technical certified, and there are a bunch of many more.
Currently in year 2018-20, I have done my Master of Business Administration Executive with distinction from Virtual University, and in the month of November, with the kind help of Mr. Ahmed, he is my very now getting my golfing buddy also. With his kind help, I have attempted the PMP certification exam and secured a very good grade with 3 above target and 2 target in the overall 5 domains. So this is my introduction.
So when actually did you completed your PMP?
Just now, 21st of November last year.
Achha, Marshall. Many congratulations.
Thank you, sir. This is my introduction. From domestic side, I am happily married, having 3 kids. 2 are in second year and 1 is in 7th class. मेरी जो assets यही हैं, मैं लोगों को ये बताता हूँ. I am managing 3 kids, 2 vehicles and 1 wife.
Mashallah.
By profession, I'm a telecom professional. I did telecom engineering, and then I joined telecom sector of Pakistan. It's been about 16 years since I'm working in telecom sector. Mainly right now I'm focused on my client is PTCL. I'm working in Nokia. I'm working as a project manager for the and my projects on which I'm working. Mainly they are spread across Middle East. So, but right now I'm focused in Pakistan, and we can see the project PMI is shifting its focus from this predictive approach of project management towards adaptive methodology. Similarly, Nokia is shifting its approach towards adaptive methodologies, because recently in industry we see the cloud infrastructure, because we are talking about 5G and cloud.
Yeah.
So these practices have been reflected.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's why. Exactly, and that was I think I've took enough time. And just last comment that since industry is shifting towards adaptive methodology, Nokia is shifting towards adaptive methodology, and I had a brief chat with Sir Ahmed that I'm just thinking about learning a bit and revising, because that was one area where I didn't focus much in my previous experience, and all those studies I was totally focused on a predictive approach. So that's why I'm actually here, And
Thank
that's
you,
it from my side.
Shadab. So seems that you have a
Thank you.
very solid footprint about the project management, not the theoretical perspective, but from the practical side as well. So I think it's good for us to have a learning environment, because we have now people from different industry sectors, different walk of life, and together it's going to be a good learning environment. So briefly, let's just start this session. So let me just go you through about the agenda which I'm going to cover today. So first we are going to cover the recap, what we have actually tried and understand in the last session. The reason being that there are two more panelists which have joined today, so it will be help them to understand that what actually we have covered in the previous session, and for the people who already covered in the previous session, it would be kind of a refresher for them, and they can just try and revalidate their understanding. And then I'll try and cover what exactly the Agile project management lifecycle is. There is some part which I've covered in the previous session, and today I'm going to cover the basic lifecycle in Agile project management. So the people who are having from the predictive environment, they are now having a better understanding that what kind of a lifecycle that do exist in the predictive environment and in the Agile environment as well. And then we'll talk about the famous iron triangle, because the people who have achieved the PMP, like Mr. Wasim, they have a better understanding about the iron triangle. But we'll try and understand what iron triangle, and then we'll try to understand what exactly the inverted triangle, which is the counterpart in Agile. And then I'll talk about what exactly the Agile mindset is. And then lastly, what's the difference between doing Agile versus being Agile. So this is just a brief agenda I have just selected for today's session. And based on the time bandwidth I'm having, I'm trying to cover all this segments that are highlighted here. But if more or less I didn't get any time to cover them, we'll perhaps continue the rest of the portion in the next section. So this is just a brief agenda. If somebody is having any question, feel free to ask me, because I just want to make it as much interactive as it can be. This is just a previous recap. So I actually started my presentation with an understanding that once you try to manage any project, so there are two type of approaches that are widely being used. So the first one we covered was waterfall, and the second was agile. So जब भी हम किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट को मैनेज करते हैं, हमारे पास प्रोजेक्ट डिफरेंट टाइप, डिफरेंट शेप, डिफरेंट साइज, डिफरेंट कम्प्लेक्सिटी लेवल के आते हैं. तो वर्ल्ड वाइड प्रोजेक्ट्स को मैनेज करने के लिए तो पॉपुलर जो अप्रोचेस यूज की जाती हैं, वन इज द वाटरफॉल एंड द अदर वन इज द एजाइल. सो वाटरफॉल का जो सारे का सारा जो फंडामेंटल कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, वो आई एम रियली होपिंग कि ऑब्वियसली अहमद साहब ने आपको बहुत अच्छे से कवर करवाई होगी. सो इस वाले सेशन के अंदर मैं वाटरफॉल के साथ, एजाइल के साथ साथ वाटरफॉल को भी टच करूंगा, सो दैट कि हम ये अंडरस्टैंड कर सकें कि वाटरफॉल और एजाइल एक दूसरे से किस तरीके से डिफरेंट है, ऑल्दो देयर इज अ ऑर्डर ऑफ मैग्नीट्यूड डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू अप्रोचेस. सो इसके बाद हमने प्रीवियसली ऑल्सो डिस्कस किया था कि डिफाइंड प्रोसेसेस क्या होते हैं, जो कि प्रिडिक्टिव एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर इस्तेमाल होते हैं. वन बाय वन मैं इसको डिस्कस भी करूंगा, ताकि एक रीकैप आप लोगों के सामने क्लियर होके आ जाए. सो वाटरफॉल की मेथोडोलॉजी को हमने बेस लेवल के ऊपर अंडरस्टैंड किया था. देन हमने देखा था कि व्हाट इज द फंडामेंटल डिफरेंस बिटवीन वाटरफॉल वर्सेस एजाइल, एंड व्हाट आर द कोर डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन देम. एंड देन लास्टली हमने एजाइल प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के लाइफ साइकिल्स देखे थे कि कौन से लाइफ साइकिल्स हैं. So like I said that in order to manage any kind of a project, there are two approaches that are widely being used. So the one is the predictive environment, jo ke it's been into the market since decades. So waterfall basically है क्या, waterfall का fundamental premise क्या है, बुनियादी मुकदमा क्या है. So ये एक ओपन क्वेश्चन है. वसीम साहब, कुछ अगर आप इसके ऊपर if you just throw some explanation to our participants, and then I'll add on based on your understanding and my understanding is. तो waterfall चूंकि आपने PMP cover किया, which is one of the which is fundamentally based on the waterfall approach. तो थोड़ा सा आप अगर उसका एक preamble बता सकें what exactly the waterfall approach is.
थैंक यू सर। जस्ट वेरी सिंपल, वाटरफॉल
जी
अपने जो मीनिंग ही है इससे खुद बता रहा है कि व्हाट डज दिस अप्रोच स्टैंड फॉर। वाटरफॉल मींस कि एक आबशार बह रही है, वो हमेशा नीचे ही आएगी, उसने पीछे वापस नहीं मोड़ना। मींस देयर इज नो इटरेशन इन्वॉल्व, इसमें कोई इटरेशन इन्वॉल्व नहीं है। एक स्टेप होगा, उसके आउटपुट को हम लेके अगले स्टेप में जाएंगे, उससे अगले स्टेप में जाएंगे, बट वी विल नॉट टर्न बैक। उसमें कोई इटरेशन नहीं है, और एट द एंड ऑफ द डे हम जाके अपने लेसन लर्न वहां पे जाके अपने प्रोजेक्ट के एंड में इकट्ठे कर लेंगे। इसमें हमारे पास स्कोप डिफाइंड होगा, हमने उस स्कोप को ही लेके चलना है शुरू से आखिर तक। कॉस्ट एंड टाइम वेरी कर सकता है। ये वाटरफॉल का एक बुनियादी जो मुकदमा जो आप कह रहे थे वो ये है। इसमें और बहुत सारी इलिस्ट्रेशंस हैं, लेकिन सिंपली ये है, स्कोप इज फिक्स्ड और हम पीछे नहीं कभी भी जाते, इटरेट नहीं करते कहीं भी। वाटरफॉल जिस तरह हमेशा ऊपर से नीचे बह रही होती है, वही इसका असल मानी है कि वो ऊपर से स्टेप बाय स्टेप नीचे आ रहा है और उसने नीचे की तरफ ही जाना है, उसने वापस पीछे नहीं जाना। ये
Awesome,
वाटरफॉल का।
awesome. बेहतरीन
जी सर।
explanation, बेहतरीन explanation. So basically मैं इसमें add करता हूँ so that you have another perspective about the waterfall. So this was one of the perspective of waterfall approach. Another perspective is कि जब भी आप कोई project करने जा रहे होते हैं and you know the output of that project in advance, which means that exactly you know that what is the specification, what is the technical understanding of that product would be, which means कि आपकी जो output है वो आपके ज़हन में पहले से है, आपके पास historical knowledge भी है, उस तरह का project आपने पहले किया हुआ भी है, so you have all the information that's available to you. So उसी तरह का project जब आप दोबारा से करने जाते हैं, when you embark upon a similar kind of a project, that for that project the most applicable approach is known as the waterfall approach. इसको एक एग्जांपल से समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। Let's say you are in a manufacturing industry and you are trying and build a new vehicle, ठीक है? So उसके आपने को 3 4 5 6 10 यूनिट्स पहले से प्रिपेयर किए हुए हैं। Since you have prepared all the units and you are now going to build another unit, तो इसका मतलब है कि चूंकि based on the previous information, based on the historical knowledge, technical specification, what would be the design of that thing, what your product will exactly look like, so based on that information आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि आप नए प्रोडक्ट को आपके पहले से कंसीव कर सकते हैं। You can try and visualize कि आपका एंड प्रोडक्ट किस तरीके से दिखेगा। सो उस तरह के प्रोजेक्ट के लिए द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट जो कि अप्रोच है उसको हम कहते हैं वाटरफॉल। और ये वाटरफॉल का वन ऑफ द पिवटल प्रेमिस आप कह लें कि जहां से वाटरफॉल का फंडामेंटल एवोल्यूशन स्टार्ट हुआ। सो अनदर थिंग कि वाटरफॉल के एडवांटेजेस क्या हैं। सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज ये है कि आप चूंकि एक चीज एंड प्रोडक्ट के बारे में पहले से जानते हैं तो आप उससे क्या क्या चीजें कर सकते हैं, व्हाट इज द बेनिफिट। सबसे पहली चीज तो ये है कि आपके पास अनसर्टेनिटी रहती नहीं। यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ सर्टेनिटी बिफोर यू एक्चुअली गोइंग टू स्टार्ट योर प्रोजेक्ट। So which means if you have certainty, you can make a complete upfront planning, and that's the reason waterfall के अंदर हम क्या करते हैं कि एक complete project plan बनाते हैं जिसे हम कहते हैं project management plan. So project management plan क्या होता है कि आपके complete project की upfront planning होती है जिसमें each and everything is प्री-डिफाइंड कि कितने टाइम में आपने प्रोजेक्ट करना है, कितनी कॉस्ट के अंदर आपने वो करना है, कितने रिसोर्सेज के साथ इवन करना है, क्या उसका क्वालिटी होगा, प्रोक्योरमेंट लेंगे तो कहाँ से लोगे, स्टेक होल्डर्स इन्वॉल्व होंगे तो कितने स्टेक होल्डर्स इन्वॉल्व होंगे, रिस्क होगा तो हाउ एक्चुअली यू आइडेंटिफाई रिस्क, हाउ विल यू मैनेज रिस्क। सो ये सारी की सारी जो चीजें होती हैं ये दे आर प्री डिटरमिन्ड। लेकिन इसका ये भी मतलब नहीं है कि वाटरफॉल के जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं दे आर टिपिकली लाइक प्री डिटरमिन्ड, लाइक इसमें देयर इज नो चेंज कमिंग। yes there is a change coming, yes there is a lot of risk involved, but वो जो रिस्क या जो चेंज का जो फ्रीक्वेंसी लेवल है दैट इज क्वाइट लो एज कंपेयर टू इट्स काउंटरपार्ट विच इज इन एजाइल पार्ट। सो वाटरफॉल के जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं दैट
that is having less uncertainty, you can make a lot of upfront planning. Uske basis ke upar you can place a lot of structure, infrastructure जैसे हम कहते हैं. Since you have upfront planning, तो based on that planning you can actually execute it, and once you'll execute it, obviously you'll try and build a structure out of it. So once there is structure, then the project manager hoga jo ki obviously will be actually managing that project. So waterfall ke project mein ek philosophical touch hota hai as part of a waterfall project manager. Since I have been a project manager and covered a lot of waterfall projects, तो उसमें एक जो philosophical touch है, the जो project manager है, that actually enforce a lot of command and control. कमांड एंड कंट्रोल इसलिए कि सिंस एवरीथिंग इज प्री डिफाइंड, तो जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर है, ही इज समबडी हु इज एक्चुअली गोइंग टू ट्रैक द प्रोग्रेस बेस्ड ऑन द प्री बिल्ड प्लान यू आर हैविंग. सो ये एक बाय एंड लार्ज मैंने एक खाका आपके सामने रखा है, सो दैट यू कैन put them in your brains once I move forward. तो ये इसके बुनियादी advantages, इसका fundamental premise है, ताकि जब हम एजाइल को डिफाइन करने लगे तो हमारे जहन में ये हो कि वाटरफॉल क्या है और उसकी properties क्या है, what is the characteristics of waterfall, and then we can try and differentiate between waterfall and agile.